Imagine waking up one morning and suddenly feeling different. Maybe you feel more tired than usual. Maybe certain smells suddenly make you uncomfortable. Or perhaps your period is late and you begin wondering, am I pregnant? But what if you don't have a pregnancy test kit nearby? Or maybe you feel nervous about buying one. Or you simply want to know if there are natural ways to check pregnancy at home. For centuries, people around the world have tried different home methods to detect pregnancy without a medical test. Some used salt, some used sugar. Others relied on observing early body changes. But the real question is, do these natural pregnancy tests actually work? In today's video, we'll explore everything you need to know about checking pregnancy without a test kit. We will talk about early signs of pregnancy your body may show, natural home pregnancy tests people commonly try, whether these methods are actually reliable, the science behind pregnancy detection, and when you should take a real pregnancy test. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand the difference between pregnancy myths and medical facts. So let's begin. 1. Understanding pregnancy detection. Before talking about home methods, it's important to understand how pregnancy is actually detected. When a woman becomes pregnant, the body begins producing a special hormone called human chorionic gonadotropin, commonly known as HCG. This hormone appears in the body shortly after a fertilized egg attaches to the uterus. The level of HCG increases quickly during early pregnancy. Modern pregnancy tests work by detecting this hormone in urine or blood. There are 2 main types of pregnancy tests used today. The first type is a home urine pregnancy test, which is the test kit you can buy at a pharmacy. The second type is a blood test performed in a clinic or laboratory. Both of these tests work because they can detect the presence of HCG. This is important to remember because most natural home pregnancy tests cannot detect this hormone. Instead, they rely on simple chemical reactions that may or may not have anything to do with pregnancy. That's why many DIY pregnancy tests are unreliable. However, your body itself can give some early clues. So before talking about homemade tests, let's discuss early pregnancy symptoms. 2 early signs of pregnancy without a test. Even before taking a pregnancy test, many women notice changes in their body. These signs are often the first hint that pregnancy might have occurred. But remember, these symptoms do not confirm pregnancy. They only indicate that pregnancy might be possible. Let's look at the most common early signs. Missed period. One of the most obvious early signs of pregnancy is a missed menstrual period. For women who usually have regular cycles, a missed period can be the first signal that something has changed. For example, imagine someone who normally gets her period every 28 days. If her period suddenly doesn't arrive, pregnancy could be a possibility. However, delayed periods can also happen due to stress, illness, weight changes, or hormonal imbalance. So a missed period alone is not enough to confirm pregnancy. Nausea or morning sickness. Another common early symptom is nausea, often called morning sickness. Despite the name, it doesn't always happen in the morning. Some women feel nauseous throughout the day. Certain smells or foods can suddenly become unpleasant. For example, someone who normally enjoys coffee may suddenly feel sick just from the smell. Morning sickness typically begins around 4 to 6 weeks after pregnancy begins. Breast changes. Pregnancy hormones can cause noticeable changes in the breasts. Many women experience tenderness, swelling, darkening of the nipples, increased sensitivity. Some women describe the feeling as similar to pre-period breast soreness but stronger. Extreme fatigue. Feeling unusually tired can also be an early pregnancy sign. During early pregnancy, the body produces more progesterone. This hormone can cause fatigue and sleepiness. For example, someone who normally stays active all day may suddenly feel exhausted and need extra rest. Frequent urination. Pregnancy increases blood flow to the kidneys. This causes the body to produce more urine. As a result, many women find themselves visiting the bathroom more often than usual. This symptom can appear surprisingly early. Food cravings and food aversions. Pregnancy can also change how foods taste and smell. Some women suddenly crave certain foods, while others develop strong dislikes. For example, suddenly craving sweet foods, disliking foods you once loved, experiencing a metallic taste in the mouth. These changes are caused by hormonal shifts, mood swings. Hormones also affect emotions. Women may experience mood swings, irritability, or emotional sensitivity during early pregnancy. These emotional changes can sometimes appear even before physical symptoms. Implantation bleeding. Some women experience light spotting when the fertilized egg attaches to the uterus. This is known as implantation bleeding. It usually occurs about 1 week after fertilization and is lighter than a normal period. Because of its timing, many women mistake it for a light period. 3 natural home pregnancy tests. Now, let's talk about the topic many people search for online: home pregnancy tests using household ingredients. These methods have been shared through traditional beliefs, internet videos, and social media. However, it's important to understand that most of these tests are not scientifically proven. Let's explore some of the most common ones. Salt pregnancy test. The salt pregnancy test is one of the oldest DIY methods. In this method, people collect urine in a container and mix it with salt. After waiting a few minutes, they observe the mixture. Some believe that if the mixture becomes milky or forms clumps, pregnancy may be present. However, there is no scientific evidence supporting this test. Any reaction usually happens because of the natural chemical properties of urine. Sugar pregnancy test. Another common home test uses sugar. In this method, a small amount of sugar is placed in a bowl. Urine is then added to the sugar. Some people claim that if the sugar forms clumps instead of dissolving it, indicates pregnancy. But in reality, sugar can clump simply because of moisture. There is no scientific proof that pregnancy hormones cause this reaction. Toothpaste pregnancy test. This test became popular on social media. The method involves mixing urine with white toothpaste. Some people believe that if the toothpaste changes color or produces foam, pregnancy is present. But the reaction occurs simply because toothpaste contains chemicals that react with urine. This has nothing to do with pregnancy hormones. Baking soda pregnancy test. Another widely shared method involves baking soda. In this test, urine is poured over baking soda. If the mixture begins bubbling or fizzing, some people assume pregnancy. However, baking soda reacts with acidic substances. Urine acidity varies from person to person, which explains the bubbling reaction. Vinegar pregnancy test. In this method, vinegar is mixed with urine. Some believe that if the color changes, it indicates pregnancy. In reality, this is simply a chemical reaction between vinegar and substances in urine. It does not detect pregnancy hormones. 4. Why homemade pregnancy tests are unreliable. There are several reasons why these DIY methods are unreliable. First, they cannot detect HCG, the hormone responsible for pregnancy detection. Second, urine composition changes depending on diet, hydration, and health conditions. Third, many reactions occur due to simple chemical interactions unrelated to pregnancy. Because of these factors, homemade pregnancy tests can easily produce false results. 5. Pregnancy testing in ancient times. Before modern pregnancy tests existed, different cultures tried creative ways to detect pregnancy. One of the most interesting examples comes from ancient Egypt. Women were asked to urinate on barley and wheat seeds. If the seeds sprouted, pregnancy was assumed. Although fascinating, these methods were not scientifically accurate. Modern science has given us much more reliable ways to confirm pregnancy. 6. When to take a real pregnancy test. If you suspect pregnancy, the best step is to take a proper pregnancy test. Doctors recommend testing after missing your period. Using first morning urine often provides the most accurate results. If the test result is negative but symptoms continue, you can repeat the test after a few days. 7. Medical methods to confirm pregnancy. There are 2 reliable ways to confirm pregnancy. The first is a home pregnancy test kit. These kits are easy to use and widely available. When used correctly, they are about 99% accurate. The second method is a blood test performed by a doctor. Blood tests can detect pregnancy earlier and measure hormone levels more precisely. 8. Emotional side of waiting for results. Waiting to confirm pregnancy can be emotionally intense. Some people feel excitement and hope. Others may feel nervous or anxious. It's important to stay calm and rely on reliable medical methods rather than myths. Talking with a healthcare professional can also help provide reassurance. To summarize, many natural pregnancy tests exist, including salt tests, sugar tests, toothpaste tests, and baking soda tests. However, these methods are based on myths and are not scientifically reliable. Your body may show early pregnancy signs like missed periods, nausea, fatigue, and breast tenderness. But the only reliable way to confirm pregnancy is through a home pregnancy test or medical test. If you suspect pregnancy, the best step is to take a proper pregnancy test after a missed period. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more informative health and lifestyle content. And if you have questions about pregnancy symptoms or home tests, feel free to share them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.